Hey everybody, it's Emily from ARG Schooling, and today I'm going to do the Reader Problems tag. So I actually got tagged like a little over a week ago, I think, by RJ from the Secret Stacks, and I was going to do the tag like early in the week last week, and then I got sick and didn't want to do anything. So I'm finally better, yay! So I thought I'd go ahead and do the tag. So this is the Reader Problems tag, and it's like really fun, I think. So let's get started. So question number 1. You have 20,000 books in your TBR, which I kind of do. I've got a lot. How in the world do you decide what to read next? That's a really good question. Sometimes I have a plan, like I have an order to which I want to read my books. Or if I have a book that I've really been wanting to read for a while, that's probably going to get moved to the top of my TBR. But a lot of times I just kind of stare at my books and wait for one to jump out at me and ask to be read. Sometimes I'll kind of have a couple books and I'll start reading and decide if I want to keep reading, or if I'm not feeling that book, then I'll just start the next book in the pile and go from there until something sticks and I read it. But yeah, most of the time I'd say I have a pretty good sense of what I want to read next. Question number 2. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I would say there's probably a pretty good chance I'm going to quit the book. I am a serial DNFer. If I'm not feeling a book, I will not finish reading it. I'm not going to waste my time. I have very limited free time for reading, and if I'm reading a book that I think is not good, then I'm just going to stop reading it and I'm going to read something else, because there's just not enough time in the world to read crappy books. But that's not to say that I'd never finish a bad book. I have finished a few, mostly in the hopes that they were going to get better. Like if I'm reading a book that has gotten really great reviews and I'm reading it and I'm not feeling it, sometimes I'll finish it just because I'm like, there has to be a reason for the good reviews. And then I read the whole thing and usually I'm still like, I don't get it. I don't know. That happens to me a lot. All right, number 3. The end of the year is coming and you are so close but so far from meeting your Goodreads challenge. Do you try to catch up? This happens to me most years. I usually set way too high challenges for myself. I should know better. I mean, hello, I'm a mom, I have 4 kids, I am homeschooling, I run a business. There's no way I'm reading 100 books in a year. I just can't. But I keep trying anyway. I think the last couple of years I did not meet my goal. So this year I actually made a lower goal. I set it for 50. I'm like, I can totally do 50. I generally read between 60 and 80 books a year. So if I set it at 50, I'm not going to have that guilt at the end of the year. I'm not going to have that that panic in December where I'm like, I have to read all the books, because I never can. I never can. I just don't have time for that. But I will often, in December, try to read a lot of graphic novels and a lot of novellas, and I'll squeeze in some shorter chapter book type things just to make that end number a little bit higher. But yeah, I'm still not going to probably hit it. But this year I think I will. All right. Number 4. The covers of a series that you love do not match. How do you cope? Honestly, I don't really care. I know a lot of people are ridiculously concerned with the look of their books. And I do like to look at my books. I mean, my Anne, I don't know if you guys can see, they all match and that's kind of pretty. But I just don't really care. I'm more concerned with what's in the book than what's on the outside of the book. I mean, I do, if a book is really ugly, that bothers me. But as long as the book is good, I don't really care what the covers look like. I don't care if they don't match. I don't often buy books in a series. I mean, I have these 4 books from Game of Thrones, and then I've got this monster of a hardback. I mean, they don't match, but I don't really care. It just doesn't really bother me that much, I guess. I don't know. I'm weird. Number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book that you just don't really like? Who do you bond with your shared feelings? You know what? I tend to whine a lot to my husband. He hears a lot of this stuff, and I just, I don't know. He puts up with it and doesn't mind me whining. Well, maybe he minds me whining, but he'll listen to me complain about books, and, that's what he's there for. So yeah, I tend to complain a lot to my husband, and I do, I like, if I hate a book, or if I really strongly dislike a book that a lot of people like, I'll often go to Goodreads and look at the bad reviews, because they usually make me feel better that I'm not the only person who didn't like the book. Number 6. You're reading a book and you're starting to cry in public. What do? I don't do this. I cry over books, but I generally don't read in public. Am I like the weird person? I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate and read in public. I'm so distracted. I have like ADD or something. If there's things going on around me, then I just cannot focus on what I'm reading. So I generally don't have this problem because I usually don't read in public. Now, that's not to say I don't, like on an airplane I'll read, and if I cry, I cry. That's not really public, because the only people sitting around me are usually my husband or like whoever I'm flying with. So I don't know. This hasn't really happened to me. I don't know that I can remember a time that I cried in public over a book. I've cried at movies, and that's in public. So, but yeah, I don't know. If I have feelings, I have feelings. Deal with it, people. Number 7. A sequel to a book that you love is just come out, but you've forgotten a lot of the plot. What do? Do you reread the book? Do you look up a synopsis? What do you do? If I really like the book, I don't mind rereading. I'll reread the book before I read the sequel. Or if I'm like really strapped for time, then I guess I'll go and look up on a synopsis online and see if I can like jog my memory. Sometimes I don't even bother and I just jump into the book, and usually the author leaves some clues to help you remember what happened. So yeah, I don't really stress myself out about it that much. Number 8. You do not want anyone to borrow your books. How do you politely say no? Yeah, I don't tend to loan out books. I think I let my mother-in-law borrow books, and she's pretty good about returning them, so I'm not really worrying about that. But like, yeah, I've had some terrible experiences over the years loaning out books that I still have never received back. And this is, yeah. If I loan out a book to you, it's because I really, really trust you that you're going to give me back my book. So yeah, but no, I don't loan out books pretty much ever, because they're my children. I don't loan my children out. So yeah. Number 9. Reading ADD. This is a problem that I have. Yes. You pick up and put down about 5 books in a month. How do you get out of this reading slump? This happens to me all the time. Like, all the time. Especially if I've just finished a really good book and then I don't know what to do next. So yeah, how do I get out of it? I usually will just keep the cycle going until I pick up something that sticks. So if it means I pick up and put down 10 books, that's what happens. If I'm like really, I need to get out of the slump, I will usually read something that I really like. Even that means rereading the book that put me in the slump in the first place. But generally speaking, I can give myself because, part of what I do for a living is reading a lot of books and writing literature studies for them and stuff. So I can usually like get myself off the slump by making myself do work. By picking a book that I know I have to read and finish, that'll usually snap me out of it. But yeah, if I'm really stuck, then I'll just, reread something that I love. And it usually gets me out of it. Number 10. There's so many books coming out that you're dying to read. Do you buy them all? How many do you buy? This is a tricky one for me. I don't tend to buy books for myself. I am more likely to buy new books for my kids and justify that, like I'm buying them for homeschooling, than to, buy a book for myself. I have started being nicer to myself over the last year or two and like going ahead and buying a book here and there that I really want. But typically I don't buy books for myself. I am more likely to make a ridiculous wish list of books that I want and hope my husband buys them. Or if my library has the books that I want coming out, then I'll get it from the library. But yeah, I don't generally buy a lot of books for me. And then the last question, 11. After you buy the books, how long are they going to sit on your shelves? This one I'm really, really bad about. I will say they might sit for a couple of years before I get to them sometimes. I have books on my shelves that I bought excitedly or that I got for Christmas and I was really excited about that I still haven't read. And, you know, yeah. I tend to prioritize books that I have to read, like for writing my literature units or for writing, you know, build your library curriculum stuff. Those get put to the top because they have to get done. Like right now, I've got my massive pile downstairs that I have to get through. That is what I'm reading. And I'm not probably going to get to any of the books that I got for Christmas again until that's done. So that means I might not get to any of these books that I've been dying to read for like, I don't know, maybe this summer I'll be able to read them. So I'm like looking forward to that. But I also really love doing what I do. So, I mean, yeah, it's a balance. And so, yeah, they're going to probably sit for a while. But I will get to them. I will, because I really want to read them. So there you go. So that's the reader tag. I actually had a lot of fun doing that. It's fun to talk about books and reading and all that stuff. So I'm going to tag Rebecca at Why Mermaids, Becky from The Reading Mom, and Robin at Read All the Books. You guys are tagged. Go ahead and do this. It's really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing your videos. And if you want to do this and I didn't tag you, go for it. You're all tagged. You're all tagged. So have fun with this reader's tag, reader problems tag, whatever. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye. Happy reading.